Good morning. Today is Tuesday, August 13th. I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. Former President Donald Trump held a 2-hour online conversation last night with Elon Musk, the owner of the social media platform X. Trump reiterated several of his common points, blaming immigrants as dangerous and insulting his Democratic rival, Vice President Harris. NPR's Mara Liasson says while Harris is rising in the polls, Trump has strength.
He has a lot of advantages. He has the Electoral College map, which helps Republicans. He has the edge on many issues. Polls show that voters see him as the stronger leader. They see him as better on the economy, on crime, on the border. And those internal poll numbers might change, but so far he's maintaining them. He also has a flood of negative ads aimed at Harris ready to go.
NPR's Mara Liasson reporting. Israel's military says it is at peak readiness for an attack from Iran and Hezbollah in Lebanon. President Biden and other world leaders called on Iran not to attack Israel. NPR's Daniel Estrin reports from Tel Aviv.
Iran and Hezbollah have vowed to retaliate for the assassinations of senior militant leaders. The White House says an attack could come this week. President Biden and the leaders of the UK, France, Germany, and Italy have called on Iran to, quote, stand down to avoid a regional escalation. The White House has sent fighter jets and warships to the region. Israel's military says it's increased its Air Force patrols over Lebanon and is striking there every day. Israel's Air Force has ordered its service members not to travel abroad at this time, as the military says it's at, quote, peak readiness in offense and defense. Daniel Estrin, NPR News, Tel Aviv.
There are primary elections today in Connecticut, Vermont, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. In Minnesota, Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar, who has heavily criticized the war in Gaza, is hoping to avoid the recent fates of two of her close allies in the House. She's facing a challenger whom she narrowly beat 2 years ago. In Wisconsin, the race for one of the Senate seats will be set as Republican voters decide who will face two-term Democratic incumbent Tammy Baldwin. There are also 2 questions on the Wisconsin ballot about who has the power to direct federal funding in that state. From member station WUWM in Milwaukee, Chuck Quirmbach has more.
Wisconsin's GOP-controlled legislature has been critical of some of the ways Democratic Governor Tony Evers has been allocating federal funds, dating back to COVID-19 relief money. If voters okayed 2 proposed constitutional amendments, the legislature and governor would have to agree on use of federal dollars. Republicans say Wisconsin is one of just a handful of states where the governor doesn't have to share power on spending federal money. For NPR News, I'm Chuck Quirmbach in Milwaukee.
You're listening to NPR News from Washington.